So, hello, fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And just like songs, I don't think that movies have much to do with logic. They have to do with emotions. And I'll get into that in a second. As usual, I am Earthling, yada yada yada. I have traveled a bit: Tokyo, Japan, the Grand Canyon, Caracas, Venezuela. I have lost almost 100 pounds from my top body weight, kept it off for 5 years. I can do some Latin dance. And that's it for me for now. So, I it struck me. I've seen so many movies, as most of us have in our lives, up to this point. And I've seen so many different plots, and I've seen so many different plot holes where things, what? No, that, no, that doesn't make any sense. No. And it always, I have to admit, it has always kind of annoyed me a lot to see these plot holes. But, as time goes forward in the movie, you don't have a whole lot of time to focus on this thing. That didn't make any sense. No, there's something blowing up over here. Somebody's getting shot. There's an alien landing. Yeah, okay, but pay attention to what's happening now. And one of the things about songs, for example, is I remember listening to Sia, right? That lady who tries to hide her face when she performs and so on. I guess she's not as big as she used to be. I wonder if that had anything to do with her chiming in when it came to this guy's girlfriend who said that he strangled her and all this other stuff. Anyway, she said that she was in a songwriting session with Katy Perry. And she had done the song, she was finished, and the way that they do songs, apparently, she and some of these other people that she's involved with, is they will come up with a melody beforehand, and they will just save up all these melodies. Like, there's supposedly some group of people who have made all of these different hits, and these people will practice together and come up with different melodies, one after the other, after the other, after the other, just all day long. And they save the melodies, and they'll play them for someone who writes songs. And the person who writes songs is now going through each one of these melodies. And if there's someone like Sia, for example, you will just, speak in tongues. You'll just say, and you just say whatever word comes to mind. And then from that point, you try to make a little bit of sense of it so that you're not just babbling complete garbage, or you thinking perhaps of a video that you're going to have to make in the future, and you want it to at least have some kind of coherency. So you just do that, and when you're satisfied with it, you're done. So she, I guess, was in a songwriting session with Sia, that is, was in a songwriting session with Katy Perry. And she said, oh my God, that was the worst experience that I've ever had. Now, why did she say that? Apparently, Katy Perry wanted the song to make sense. She wanted it to flow and be coherent and tell a story from beginning to end and not be confusing, like if you just stuck together a bunch of words next to a melody and, said that's it. And she said that Katy Perry apparently had a good time, trying to flesh out the meaning of the different verses and the different choices of words and whatever else. But for her, I guess somebody who is just used to, okay, I don't like that melody, let's try another one. La 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 la. Okay, because that's what I come to understand, that's what they do. All day long, one group comes up with melodies, and somebody else comes up with the words to go to those things, and each part, each verse doesn't necessarily cohere with all of the others. I mean, there might be one verse that has to do with the fact that you left me at the altar or something like that, and another verse that has a little bit more to do with the fact that I never trusted you anyway, and another one that has to do with, well, my mother doesn't really like you anyhow, you take it, and I cheated on you too. And you're like, whoa, 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 so much different stuff happening in this song, and there's not even like a system where it's one thing after the other that makes sense. It's like they're all out of sorts. So for her, for Sia, having somebody, because she would be telling herself, definitely, look, I've had all of these different songs, like Diamonds in the Sky, I think that's what Rihanna did, or Bulletproof. I think that is something that, I can't remember who would have actually sung that one. But if you listen to Bulletproof, you realize some of these things don't really join up. They don't all make sense. It's a fantastic song. I love Bulletproof. I love Diamonds. Like Diamonds in the Sky, I think that's how it goes. And Bulletproof has a like boom, 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 like drums in it. But yeah, it's not necessarily what Katy Perry wanted to do is not something that Sia wanted to do. And you know, I've kind of known that for a while. I was like, but then I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm kind of like, wait a minute. But that might be exactly what some of these movies are doing. That's why they have these things in them, these huge plot holes that just don't add up, that don't make sense, because it's not really about the coherency. It's about how people feel when they come out of, you know, the final credits and they get up and they clap or they boo or whatever it is. And how they feel might not be affected by a plot hole any more than, can I say, a song hole, a plot hole in a song. So, you know, there are a lot of these songs out there that they don't go from A to Z. They go from A to W to C to M to E to J to whatever. But they sound so great. You like how this person has, you know, the beat drops and this happens and then this other thing happens and you go, that's my song, that's my jam. And half of the time, you don't even know exactly what the words the person is singing. You know, you'll figure that out later by the time you reach to 200 and whatever. Or you'll go on, I don't know what Genie it is, and you will see what the lyrics actually are, if you've made a mistake or whatever. But it's the feeling of hearing what you hear, and the instrumentation and everything else that gets you, you know, pretending to drum beat or using your imaginary guitar or whatever. So it's the same exact thing. That's really much more important in a movie. If you have a movie that's completely coherent and adds up, but nobody likes it, that's not going to help you make more movies. That's not going to have any more people decide that they want to come and see your movies. So I think it's probably an oversight on my part throughout the years, not realizing that important thing. And I mean, that's across the board in life. Like right now, a big thing should be climate change. That should be a huge, important thing that everybody should be like, okay, how am I going to make sure that by the time my kids have grandkids or have just their own kids, that the world is not completely messed up for them? That it's not hurricane after hurricane or tornado after tornado or, you know, whatever else is on the surface, you know, if they have to move because, or the United States is suffering, or whatever country is suffering because of this. It should be a big issue. But no, people have simply used it to bend people's minds, to suggest that no, If you hate people coming from another country, I don't understand. If people coming from another country was ever a problem, then people coming into a company would be a similar problem, right? Nobody's upset when companies grow bigger and bigger and bigger. A company is not a family. A company does not have kids and raise them in the company. No, you just swap in, swap out people. And nobody is, if you're at a company, you're not saying, oh, wow, well, these people here, they're coming to take my jobs. That it doesn't make any sense, And most of the time, people are employed. So if you are employed, why are you complaining that people are coming to take your jobs? And it's very, very rare that you hear people, maybe people think that, okay, somebody is coming and from another country and they're going to get me fired. Well, that's not really how it works, because robots get you fired. When you mechanize stuff, that's what gets people fired. And when you send jobs to foreign countries, that's what gets you fired. They don't have to come here. They could stay where they are and they can build a factory there. Like 1,000 of them might come here, or a company, there's 1,000,000 of them in their hometown or home area living much cheaper lives. So you preventing them from coming to your country doesn't help you. The factory will just move to another country anyway. So, but I'm getting distracted. My whole point is that that's life, right? We keep getting distracted by all of these tangents and not seeing the plot holes in the news, in the propaganda, in the political buttons that people use. So it's not just songs that don't add up. It's not just movies that don't add up. It's not just the news. It's not just propaganda. It is, your families, everything from beginning to end. A lot of it just doesn't add up, and you get swept up in the emotion of how the song feels, or how the movie feels, or how the news makes you feel, or the propaganda makes you feel, and it's just all your feelings. And I hope that that's not me. I hope that I can stop doing something that's enjoyable and do the thing that is actually worthwhile. I hope I can stop eating something that tastes good and go and exercise even though I don't want to, because it makes me live healthier and I don't have to pay for it as much in the end. Anyway, that's it for me. Hopefully it's nothing of, I'm not even going to say the word. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, unlike, any of those things, the same way that you would like it if someone would interact with content that you put on YouTube. Have a good one. Peace.